Hey there, welcome to the channel. So today I'll be talking about how to draw trend lines, the best way to draw a trend line. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go straight to it. Now, how do you draw a trend line properly? What is the best way to draw the trend line? Now, the best way to draw the trend line is the same way you draw your support or your resistance. The same way you draw your support or your resistance. What do I mean by that? Now, maybe you have heard that maybe from different traders having their own ideas on how to draw trend lines. Some traders will say the best way to draw a trend line is to draw from week to week. Just going to extend that, draw from week to week. Well, it's not wrong. Some traders do believe you can draw a trend line from body to body, from candle to candle. It's not wrong, but the best way to draw the trend line properly is to combine all two, I mean, week to week, body to body. The best way to draw a trend line is to combine all two. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I'm just going to turn off that tool. Now, when you're drawing a trend line, you need to accumulate as much wicks as possible. You need to cover as much wicks, as much candles as possible. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, when you're drawing a trend line, you don't need to start from anywhere. You don't need to have a particular point you need to start from, but just start from somewhere. Draw the trend line. Just gonna you extend it and try to get as much wicks, as much candles above this trend line as much as possible. So here we have rejection. We have different touches. We have two rejections here. We have a rejection. Now, this is the proper way to draw a trend line. That is my opinion. This is how I've been trading. This is how I believe is the best way to draw a trend line. Drawing a trend line, you need to accumulate as much candles as possible. You need to cover as much candles, as much wicks as you can. Why do you need to do that? That's the question now. Why do you need to accumulate as much candles as you can? Why you need to do that is because the same way you draw your support or your resistance level, your horizontal support, your horizontal resistance, is the same way you should draw a trend line. Now, as you can see here, we have a resistance here. It's pretty obvious we have a resistance level here. Now, when you're drawing this resistance level, what do? You pick the area that has the most rejections from. You pick the area that the market has rejected the most from. So as you can see, this horizontal line here, I've picked the area that the market has rejected quite a lot from. We have 2 rejections, 4, 5, and 6. So when you're drawing your support, your resistance, you need to get them in an area where the market has rejected quite a lot from. So that's it. That's just it. As simple as that. You don't need to overcomplicate things. So the same thing with your trend line. Same thing when drawing a trend line. You need to accumulate as much candles, as much rejections as you can in a particular area, as I have here. So same thing with your support. You need to look for an area that has a lot of rejections, a lot of exhaustion, rejection. You know what I mean. So just like this area here, we have rejection. So you don't need to get confused whether you should draw your trend line from week to week. Sorry, your support level from week to week. But what you need to do is you need to get it in this area. Remember, your support or your resistance level is not just a line, it's a zone. So just think of this as a zone. Think of this area as a zone. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah. Think of this area as a zone. Same thing with this resistance level. Think of it as a zone. Same thing with the trend line. Just, you don't need to draw the zone. Just draw your trend line. Have it at the back of your mind that this is a zone. The area around the trend line is like a zone. Same thing with your horizontal support and your resistance. So no need to overcomplicate things. Now let me look for another example Okay, here's another example on how to draw a trend line. Well, here you could start from the wick because that's the only wick here. You could start from the wick and draw and try to accumulate as much rejections, as much candles as you can. So that's how I draw my trend line. Let's look for another example. Let's look at this one. Try to accumulate as much rejections, as much rejection as you can. As you can see, the market broke the trend line, came back for a retest, and continued its upward movement. So same thing here. Try to accumulate as much candles as you can. Although the trend line is not foolproof, definitely on several occasions the trend line is going to fail, just like we have here. Just going to draw that back. Just like we had here, the market broke the trend line, came back for a retest. It did look like a retest, but the market came back down. That's why I don't really like trading with trend lines. I like to trade with support and resistance. That's how I trade. So in this particular instance, before I would look for a buy, I would look for a buy at the break of this high. I look for a buy at the break of this high. So before I look for a buy, the market has to break this high, come back for a possible retest, then I look for an entry and go long. But the market did not give me that. The market didn't give me that higher high, rather it gave me a lower high. The market broke below its previous low and continued its downward movement. So the trend line is definitely not foolproof. You definitely meet instances where it's going to fail. So that's why I personally trade with support and resistance most of the time. Well, the trend line is support and resistance, but in a diagonal form. So that's it. That's how you draw a trend line. You need to accumulate as much candles as possible, as much candles as you can. Let's see here. Try to accumulate as much candles as you can. Just gonna extend that. All right. We had a rejection. Market came to meet it again. Came to meet it again. Then we had support. The market could not break support. Market went back up. Broke above resistance. Remember, keep this at the back of your mind. It's a zone. It's not just lines. Zone is an area where the market respects. So the market broke out of this resistance, came back for a retest. We had a new high, higher low, high high, high low. The market continued moving upwards. So that's basically it about trend lines. You don't need to overcomplicate things. You don't need to trade trend lines on its own. You need to combine it with support and resistance. You need to combine it with the trend. Yeah, so that's basically it. So if you learned anything from the video, just like, subscribe. I'll be posting more tips like this. So thank you for watching.